the Dutch Grand Prix to 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. And just a pretty even start from the front too, but Jackk Imack has got away well. He does lead them into turn 1 then. There's not too much change at the front of the field as they all seem to have made it through turn 1 without too many incidents, too much contact. There's position changing all the way at the back, but at the front it's remained relatively calm. They're side by side round the hairpin. That's Fuzzle and Pedaflat, and then in front of them, Pyro going for the move on Mr. Business, gets that move done up the hill. And then Untos also on the back of the Red Bull looking to go for a move, but there's no way through for him. And there's a car very wide there of Martinez, a bit of contact with D10, and El Plan goes sweeping past the pair of them as Martinez got right out of shape, and that's invited Pyro through as well. D10's now really struggling. I think he might have a bit of front wing damage from that. So he's tumbling down the order. Unitos is alongside Mr. Business round the outside into 13. There's contact again. Mr. Business somehow keeping his car in a straight line. Now Fuzzle going through. Is he going to make the double overtake there in the final corner? There's contact between Pedaflat and Unitos. There's a car spinning into the pit lane there. That's JZ. Pedaflat is out the race. And that's only a virtual safety car despite all of that. Pit lane, it has now been upgraded to a full safety car.
Has also stopped.
Oh, yeah, it has. So, it's just a matter of how long until it becomes ready for the slick tyres. It probably won't be long. Just because it usually dries out fairly quickly on this game. Jackk Imack bolts now. Wow. And he's caught Liam completely napping there. And Jackk Imack just accelerating off into the distance. And there are cars opting to come into the pit lane now, most likely for that soft compound or slick tyres. Indeed, Unitos does come in for the medium compound. El Plan side by side with Martinez for 3rd place. The Alfa Romeo going to the inside of the hairpin, gets that move pretty much done. Pyro trying to go through on the AlphaTauri on the exit, but he doesn't quite have the drive to do so. Yeah, Jackk Imack is in. They're all into the pit lane. They are every single one of the leaders. They're all filing in. And Fuzzle has sped in the pit lane. Both Haas cars, however, have stayed out on the track. DRS is now enabled, which is typically on this game a telltale sign of what the conditions are looking like. The leaders are going to emerge a lot tighter than they would have liked with Pyro and Mr. Business behind. But Jackk Imack does remain out front from Liam. Martinez now onto the pit straight with DRS, goes to the outside of the McLaren driver. There's nothing Liam can really do to fight that, and Martinez moves up into 2nd place and now has the goal of hunting down the race leader in Jackk Imack.
Field then, just to make sure he's...
Oh no! That vibes it heavily into a barrier. That's got to be a safety car, which indeed it is. So Martinez using all that battery wasn't too bad after all, because he instantly can just recharge all of it. As he goes, he goes now, and he has caught out Martinez well enough that he will remain in that race lead for the time being. The two AlphaTauris already side by side. Is Mr. Business going to go for the move on the inside of his teammate? He does go for it. They're going to be side by side round turn 1. It's the battle of the AlphaTauris, but El Plan does come out on top. And I think this time Martinez is going to go for the move. He pushed to the inside, and before the corner he gets himself in front. There's a bit of wheel banging between the two of them, but it's not enough to prevent Martinez from going through into the race lead. This time around, Jackk Imack seems to be a little bit closer than on the previous laps, but again, I don't think he's quite close enough, but he does go for the move to the inside. I thought he was a bit too far back, but he's made the move work, and he moves up into the race lead. And as Pyro is the first out of this lead pack into the pit lane, he's going for the soft compound for the next to either the end or whenever the rain arrives. And it does appear that Jackk Imack and Martinez are both coming in, as Martinez has overtaken Jackk Imack into the pit lane. El Plan and Shakos both stay out, but Martinez is now in the provisional race lead. Now Pyro into turn 1. You can see them emerging from the pit lane on the right hand side. Pyro has jumped ahead of Jackk Imack into P7, which is a net P2 for the McLaren. And Martinez has retaken the race lead at his home race, going for 3 in a row. These leaders have got about 4 seconds into El Plan and Shackles out front. So if the rain doesn't come, these guys are going to suffer so much from their strategy call. Now Martinez has the DRS as well to D10. There's a bit of contact between the two of them as Martinez is trying to clear this car on much older tyres. Surely he can just send one to the inside, but he chooses to go for the move later on. Is he going to go to the outside? When's he going to go for the move? D10 doesn't have the DRS, and Martinez pulls to the outside, and he moves up into 4th on the right, but there's contact! And they're both in the wall, and Martinez from the net race lead has now fallen down to 7th, and that is a safety car deployed, and D10 is out of the race. Yeah, El Plan's in. Shackles will likely follow suit. They all come into the pit lane. The top 7 all into the pits. Fuzzle has gone onto the intermediate tyres. So Fuzzle thinks the rain is going to come before the safety car comes in. Which, looking at how much is clouding over, is a real possibility. As the rain is now falling. The rain is falling on the circuit. The heavens have opened. And now Fuzzle knows he may have got this strategy absolutely perfectly. If Fuzzle can just keep going like this until it gets to the point where it is heavy enough for the inters, then he could be in a proper chance of winning the race. Now, I don't know if El Plan knows that some of the cars behind have gone for the inters, but for Fuzzle's race, he wants El Plan to be as slow as he possibly can. For all the other cars, El Plan needs to get a move on this restart. El Plan still hasn't gone. As he goes now, this plays completely into what Fuzzle wants. And now, El Plan leads them away from Shackles. And so many cars now into the pit lane. A bit of contact between Martinez and Mr. Business. They're side by side through turn 1. As you can see how much Fuzzle is dropping back. It's not the right call just yet, but it could very much be in the next few laps. Mr. Business and Unidos side by side, and the Red Bull gets really out of shape, almost just about keeps out of the barrier. Jackk Imack round the outside of Shackles for 2nd place, makes that move work. You can now see the puddles starting to form on the track. Liam Walder on the back of Shackles trying to go for 3rd place. But now Fuzzle is going to be gaining so much time on these guys. The rain is getting so heavy compared to how it was just a mere minutes ago. And now Fuzzle will just start cutting his way through these cars, just like a knife through butter. And now just look how heavy the rain is. The cars on the slicks are starting to struggle. But will it be quite enough for Fuzzle to gain through all this traffic? El Plan is into the pit lane, so is Liam. There's quite a few cars choosing that now is the time for the intermediates, and that puts Fuzzle up into 5th place. Fuzzle just sitting in P6, he can't get past the AlphaTauri ahead of him. He's being massively held up, and now that's Hartz to the inside, going for the move, gets it done, and now Hartz could be in a provisional race lead. They're side by side, and they're still going to go at it. Hartz has made that move, and he moves up into P5, and now it's just who can clear the traffic faster, and is it fast enough to get past Jackk Imack before the end? Hartz goes for the move on Mr. Business, gets it done. Fuzzle now follows him through into 5th place. Hartz now right on the back of Pyro, going to go for the move on the outside, round the final corner, gets left absolutely no space, so he has to try somewhere else. Rolling dice now going for it on Fuzzle to the inside. Hartz lunges one up the inside on Pyro, gets the move done into 3rd place. Hartz could genuinely win for the 2nd time in a similar race of changeable conditions. There's contact between Fuzzle and Pyro. Fuzzle is spun round at turn 2, And that's cost him so much time. And now Haas is right on the back of Jackk here for second place. He's got so much more grip than the Haas car. Goes to the inside and he moves up into second place. And it's just one more car between him and his second Tier 1 victory. Rolling Dice is looking to be on for a P2 result here as well. Fuzzle may still be able to recover to P3, depending how much the track rates. And now Haas goes to the inside, makes the move. Jackk Imack is forced off the track. They're side by side. Rolling Dice goes through as well. And now Haas leads again for the second time. Is leading a Tier 1 race, and he could well come out victorious here. But there is still three more laps to go. I can't quite believe what we're seeing here. And if it wasn't for that contact, Fuzzle could be much closer to these leaders. But then El Plan is going to be soaring his way through this traffic as well. But there's just one more lap to go. Then Haas could genuinely do it for a second time. And now Jackk drops out of the points. So Jackk will not score. And this is huge for the championship as Liam Ward is in 5th. So Liam will score about 10 points on Jackk. The championship battle is really spicing up with not long to go. And it's looking to be a close race for the rest of the season between McLaren and Haas, as it has been. But now Haas just has 2 more corners to go. And it's gonna be for the second time. He comes around the final corner. And he wins again in Tier 1. And now El Plan right on the back of Fuzzle for the final podium position. I think Fuzzle is just about going to hold on, which yes he does.